you looking to enter or return to Australia anytime soon? Or perhaps you're just interested in what life is like in quarantine?
I actually don't know how I would get through quarantine without wine.
We've been in mandatory hotel quarantine for 13 days now, and we're here to do a Q&A in order to help give you a better understanding what happens inside these four walls. In our last vlog, we showcased what a standard day looked like for us. So if you want to check that out first, then head on over now.
Hello.
So without further ado, let's crack on with the first question.
Question number one, why did you come back to Australia?
We came back to Australia for a number of reasons, but the main reason being we have our citizenship ceremony due. So we are waiting for our final pledge to become Australian citizens.
Now we don't know if our ceremony is going to be in person like they always are, or we've heard recently because of the COVID situation they will be sending out virtual invitations to participate online. So we are waiting patiently for that email, so we will keep you posted as and when we receive that.
Oh my god!
What does it say?
We just had our citizenship ceremony date come through.
And I got the same email. Yes!
That's the best news!
Oh, so good, isn't it?
Okay, what hotel do you stay at?
Now, you actually have no idea what hotel you stay at. As soon as you get off the plane, you go through all the various checks of the nurses, customs, police, army, security. I don't think I've left anyone else off.
I don't think you have.
Then you get put onto a bus with other passengers who are also on their way to quarantine. We were sat on the bus for about 45 minutes. The bus left and we were not told where we were going. We actually tracked ourselves on Google Maps as we followed ourselves through the city, and we stopped outside the Intercontinental. So it is potluck what you get given. We've heard that there are other apartments and hotels that are participating in hotel quarantine, such as Marriott, Adina,
Meriton,
Sofitel, Travelodge, and also now the Intercontinental.
Ooh.
Right, next question.
Do you have a balcony?
That would be amazing if we had a balcony. However, we unfortunately do not. We don't even have windows that open. Now we have windows, which is fantastic, so at least it gives us some level of natural daylight coming into the room. I feel like this is our first and closest taste we're gonna get to some sunshine.
This is probably the happiest I've felt in the whole of quarantine, just sat, cup of tea.
We have zero
Fresh air. Oh, fresh air.
how I used to remember what you used to feel like.
No fresh air for 14 days.
So at the moment we are just relying on the air conditioning unit, which can monitor the temperature of the room, but that's about it. The only other element of air we get is when we open that door to the corridor, and that's it.
Which is more hotel recycled air.
Yeah. How do you receive meals, and do you get a choice?
So, part one of that question. So the way we receive meals is every breakfast, lunch and dinner we get a knock at the door. As soon as we hear that knock, we have to put our masks on. Now we're not allowed to leave the room or even step foot outside of the room. We open the door and then the food is just left on the floor just outside so we can bring it in. And in terms of having a choice, we have no choice. We have no idea what we will be getting the next day or any day. It's just you get what you get.
All right, so what do we have today? Ooh, cornflakes. Beggars can't be choosers. And regarding other states, we have heard rumours that other people have received menu cards and they can choose for the next day. It's not the case here in New South Wales where we are at the Intercontinental. The only thing you can make a request for as soon as you check in is your dietary requirements.
And of course, if you have any allergies as well, there is
Yes.
a note there about whether you're allergic to particular foods. Okay. Can you get a takeaway?
The answer is yes, you can get a takeaway. Now there are limitations. You can get up to 1 takeaway per day. Now that can be through your usual means such as Uber Eats, Deliveroo, Menulog. All we had to do was make sure we listed down our name and our room number, which we did. The delivery person will deliver to reception, and the processing time between reception desk to your room can vary. Anything from a minute that we've experienced up to 15-20. We're only on day 1 and we're going to be ordering an Uber Eats.
Oh, burrito.
Oh, it smells so good.
It's still piping hot.
Still warm. Spicy chicken with extra jalapenos burrito bowl. Oh, get in my mouth. A question we had was, do you have any cooking facilities?
We do not have any cooking facilities.
No.
All we have is one coffee machine and one kettle, and that's all we have.
Since we can't get any cooking appliances, meals made with nothing but a kettle.
We did call the hotel reception at the beginning of our stay and ask if we can bring up any electrical appliances, toaster, sandwich press, even a smoothie maker.
Yeah.
Nothing was allowed. We do believe it does vary state by state from some of the other media or social media we've seen, but that is apparently the rules in New South Wales. What is a care package? Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Now, a care package for us has been our saving grace, because a care package can be something that's dropped off by a family member or friend or someone you happen to know outside of the building.
Oh, got notes and everything. Feels like it's Christmas.
In that care package can be food and drink, it can be books, it can be colouring pencils or paper for your children. So that is something that is dropped off at reception and then they will bring it up to your room.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. To our wonderful chums, we are beyond excited that you're finally back in the country. Hopefully these treats help distract and sustain you through these trying times, and we hope it all fits in the fridge. Oh my god.
Patrick.
Oh my god, this smells so good. Banana bread, oh my god. Oh my god.
They've been busy this weekend.
I'm so happy right now.
Are you allowed alcohol?
Yes, you are. Thank goodness, because I actually don't know how I would get through quarantine without wine. However, there are limitations on the amount of alcohol you can have. So it's 1 bottle of wine per person per day, which is quite generous, or a 6-pack of beer. So it's actually fine.
It's not too bad. And we've managed to get through quarantine by having our lovely friends drop off some alcohol for us.
Thank you.
Cheers. How many COVID tests are carried out?
There are 2 COVID tests that are carried out. At least this has been in the state of New South Wales. Again, this may vary depending on where you are in Australia, but we had one on day 2 and we have another on day 10. So usually it takes a couple of days for the test results to come back, so you'll get the results back on day 4. They then do a departure screening on day 12 and let you know if you're basically going to be okay to leave on day 14.
In terms of the COVID tests, you get a knock at the door and it's 2 nurses. You cannot leave your room. If you haven't seen it, then you can see some of the footage now. So with the test, basically they do a swab at the back of your throat for about 5 seconds. They then take that same swab and place it up your left nostril first, 5 seconds, remove it, and then they place it up your right nostril for again 5 seconds. And that's it, that's the test done.
Okay, maybe about 10 seconons.
Well done.
Yeah, that was really not very nice at all. Probably one of the worst things that I've ever had pushed in my nose. I've had other things pushed in my nose, but that was not a nice feeling. And the worst thing is they don't just push it in, pull it out. They have to wiggle it around at the back. And we've got to have that done again on day 10. And it's now even worse because we know exactly what to expect.
Oh. How do you do laundry?
Well, welcome to our bathtub / laundrette. So the hotel will not accept our laundry. However, they have given us permission to do our own laundry in the bathtub and provide us with detergent. So it's actually not been too bad. The only thing is that you can't do much at one point. You only got this one line to hang your clothes on, which is better than nothing.
So we've been quite creative and just try to hang it wherever possible.
It's like back to the olden days, isn't it?
I know.
What about cleaning your room?
This was asked quite a few times, surprisingly. Now, cleaners cannot come into your room. It is not allowed. So what they do is, once throughout your stay, they supply you with a fresh bag of linen and towels.
We've got fresh linen. Oh my gosh.
Christmas.
So happy. Fresh towels, fresh sheets. Oh, that is heavy.
Which you then exchange back into that bag with all your old dirty items and leave it outside your front door. We do understand you can potentially make other requests, so just call the reception. I'm sure if you wanted to replace a towel, they would bring one up for you. Other than that, if you ask for toilet roll, toiletries, they also bring that to your room as well. What is the cost of quarantine in Australia?
So this completely depends on when you booked your flights to come back to Australia. Now,
what if I booked my flight prior to the announcement date? If you purchased your flight to Sydney before 11:59 p.m. on the 12th of July 2020, you are not liable to pay the fees.
we actually booked our flights just before, on the 8th of July, so only 4 days before, which meant that we did not have to pay for quarantine costs. If you booked your flight after this date, it meant that you have to pay quarantine costs when landing back in Australia.
Now the cost of quarantine per adult at the moment is 3,000 Australian dollars. For every additional adult, it's
1,000 Australian dollars.
And for every additional child over the age of 3, it is
$500.
So for a family of 4, 2 adults and 2 children over the age of 3, you are looking at
5,000 Australian dollars, which I think is pretty hefty.
Now I know some people might ask that the taxpayers are paying for the people such as us who haven't had to pay for quarantine fees. We are those taxpayers. For the past 6 years, we have been paying towards the Australian government in our taxes. So we feel that our taxes are coming back round and
finally looking after us.
Yeah, exactly. What are the fines if you leave quarantine?
So the police officers can fine you $1,000 on the spot. However, they can fine you up to 11,000 Australian dollars and up to 6 months imprisonment. So we hope you've enjoyed our Q&A for quarantine in Sydney and given you a bit of an insight into what it is looking like in Australia right now.
Life in quarantine, it's not the worst, but just mentally and physically prepare yourself for 2 weeks inside with potentially no fresh air, no choice of meals. I'm actually just making it sound quite bad, aren't I?
I mean, it's not great.
We're lucky that we have each other, and in this instance, if we didn't have each other, I think it would be tougher. So for those people who are quarantining and you are by yourself, luckily you have technology. You've got your Netflix, you've got your TV in the room, and you can also, of course, FaceTime or video call all your loved ones outside of quarantine as well.
So if anybody has any other questions around quarantine, just leave a comment below.
In the meantime, please hit the little like button and subscribe if you find our videos interesting and want to see more.
Today is an exciting day because we are going to attempt to cook a ham and cheese toastie with nothing but an iron. Right, step 1, get out the ironing board. Step 2, have some bread. Step 3, get out the iron.
Cheese and ham.
Step 1, butter the bread. Step 4, 5, put the ham on the toast. I mean the bread. Add the cheese. Oh, he's gone for the double layer.
Doubling down.
So James decided that you needed a bit of a flatter surface, which he's now cut out.
Perfect.
Let's give that a go instead. This is the most genius hack ever.
Let's hope it works out.
Oh, melted cheese!
Oh, that looks banging.
You are genius. Oh my god, so good!
Right, I've got to make my one now. This was a complete success.
The most genius hack I think we have ever heard of.
100%. So this is now going to be our staple diet. Breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Cheers for that. Get rid of me. The main one being we have our citizen.
So what that person has to do is put down your room. Room name. A nice even distribution of heat, not just on the edges of the crust, but on the whole cross surface area, surface area, something. Well done.
Oh, it makes me cough. Ugh. My eyes water.
Oh, that's a good sound. Madam, would you like to try it before you buy it?
Oh, I think that's acceptable.
Oh, okay. The bottle smells like barbecue, weirdly.
Weird.
What's her name? Security has just dropped off this. We actually have no idea what that is. I think it might be a shepherd's pie. Are you excited for that, bub?
We get it, and we get it.
Annoyingly, there's like some condensation that's built up between the two. There's like a gloopy bit of water, so I'm gonna quickly empty that down the toilet.
Quinoa.
Quinoa.
Or quinoa, as some people call it.
Oh yeah. Some people in Australia, we know, call it quinoa. Oh, it's our favourite. Egg carrot coronation with a slice of cheese, Arnott's biscuits and Mentos. Wow, you can really quarantine. She said, what a coincidence. So now it is the time. So now it is lunchtime. So we just got a knock at the door. So first and foremost, oh my God. You do ab exercises like every day. You ready?
Ready?
3, 2, 1, go. I'm done.
Yes! Yes! I can keep going all day.
Are you still going?
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat it because I'm starving. Or we could get Uber Eats.